So if you want to know how desperate a certain nameless party's side of things really is, well, look at the hit pieces either they directly produce or they're produced in their names. Things like this here. You know what this tells you, by the way? It tells you people are right over the mark. It tells you that they are producing evidence. People are waking up to the reality that, yes, something is wrong. Something is very wrong with things. So, of course, they need to be discredited. How do you discredit them? Well, you other them. You call them a troll army. You call them, quote-unquote, Depp heads. And when you say that, what you're trying to say is that they're diehard super fans. They're loyal cheerleaders. They're not people out there engaging justice. Oh no, of course it can't be that, right? So hey there, well you fine folks, by the way, I hope your day is going excellently. So right off the bat, you can tell what type of article this is going to be. It is so duplicitous the way that they do this stuff too, because they basically get people to volunteer information. They talk about how they're fans of somebody. They call them that Depp heads, and well, they show a picture like this saying these are the type of people that will do anything, and I mean absolutely anything out there in order to ensure that this guy's good name, it continues on. Right off the bat, they start to preach this gospel of minimization too, telling you it's midsummer 2020. We're here for the first days of a certain trial, and well, since this thing is opened up, we have a throng of bodies inside flailing for a chance to watch JD take the stand. They tell you what kind of people that you're dealing with too. These are fans, of course, not people that are interested in justice. Oh no, they're fans. What kind of fans? The obsessed kind, of course. You know, over the coming weeks, this becomes more of a problem as growing number of fans accumulate. Some arrive with briefcases stuffed full of timelines. Others sport the actor's trademark plaid shirts and purple-tinted glasses. Court ushers ask the jostling women to state their case each morning and pick a handful of the most worthy to enter the public galleries. You know, they describe you like groupies, you know, trying to get in and get your JD fix. Now, we're also regaled with tales of trial and, of course, with a certain nameless person's plight. They love to put that down, by the way, talking about that plight these people are ignoring. They're also going to talk about the supporters and how they're ruthlessly treated by obsessives. That's the entirety of this idea. Now, in order to continue preaching this gospel of minimization, they do something rather duplicitous. I mean, look at this move here. They talk about the filing of an appeal. They tell you how the guy, of course, he's dropped from the Fantastic Beasts film franchise 4 days after the ruling. But they talk about his fans sticking with him. Not 3 million plus people sounding off on something. Millions of people signing documents to basically have a voice. Nope, just his fervent fans there. Bunch of people, you know, gushing over him because he's a heartthrob, of course. Now they're telling you on Thursday, some of those fervent supporters, they're going to show up or they're going to stay glued to their screens, making sure that they can keep up with that appeals process, and now they're going to hyper-focus on someone. Now, when I'm talking about this stuff, too, there is nothing negative meant to Carolyn Hicks. In fact, they give a very positive interview. See, look at this powerful statement here, for example, and how quickly it's discarded. His supporters come from all over the world and across the political spectrum, she tells me. Trump supporters, lefties, righties. So you're talking about something that can unify factions that otherwise they can't agree on whether the not grass is green or the sky is blue, but they can agree on this subject. That is a powerful testimony. Now, from there, they kind of minimize what this is all about, saying basically, you know, males experiencing DV, you know, people that are dealing with false accusations, yeah, that's going to be a throwaway statement. Instead, they give you statements like this that they love to bring up. She feels that she knows JD. I met him so many times in those 3 weeks during the trial, it got to the point where it was like going to the office. I bumped into him in the hallway one day. It was when that nameless person was on the stand, couldn't really say anything, so he just hugged me. I felt like I could call him Johnny, but then that's a bit like we know him too well. Now, I'm skipping a couple of paragraphs about motivation. I'm going to tell you, go and read that on your own. own, you should definitely. I just don't want to spend 20 minutes here. And I want to note this. I want to note how negatives are supposed to be fashioned. And again, look at how they're all one-sided. Because of course, this stuff's a hit piece. So much of the time, Hicks uses a pseudonym online. She tells me that's because some of JD's diehard crusaders, I always love that word, crusader, have recently been quote-unquote doxxed, the practice of publicly and maliciously revealing a personal details of somebody online. But she says they haven't had their particulars plastered around the internet by rival fans of that nameless person. They've been doxxed by other quote-unquote Depp heads. That stuff does happen, by the way. I've talked about hashtag movements. I've talked about that word called community. I do not get involved in hashtag movements. I don't believe in that word quote-unquote community because it allows some of the worst things to transpire. It happens universally across the internet too. But it's strange, isn't it? Hicks says carefully. There's a lot of infighting between different Depp head factions, she explains, and the best way to steer clear of the trouble is to keep your name out of it altogether. There's the Twitter core who are very active. They're like activists for him. They get all the documents. She says they do this on their own research, sharing information they dig up on the case. So there's real forensic activity among them, and then there's lurkers, thousands and thousands of them. Sometimes the different divisions of the JD community can clash when their motives are called into question. You get people pretending to be other people. You also get people pretending to be JD. It's bizarre. Sometimes I think they're just lonely guys. I think you see a lot of scammers out there, quite a few different scammers. But again, the way that comes up, how does that paint all of those folks? Now from there you have Lost Beyond Pluto interviewed, and you should definitely check that out, by the way. Again, look at this all in its full context, but then you get to this stuff about that nameless party. Quote, as support for the actors swelled in the wake of the trial, so did the vitriol against that nameless person. Anonymous accounts called for a boycott of L'Oreal products until the beauty brand removed that nameless person as a spokeswoman, and the petition to drop the actress from the cast of Aquaman 2 gained almost 2 million signatures. How, by the way, do you say that you just have fervent fans out there, but you get 2 million signatures? How does that work out, I wonder? Why, bots, of course. Bots indeed. Hate for the actress was so loud online last summer that she claimed Russian bots, automated social media accounts, had been deployed to ramp up the noise. They talk about basically her claiming the $100 million lawsuit against Adam Waldman, JD's U.S. lawyer, for being publicly associated with Russian individuals with the capacity to organize such attacks. They also talk about 200 Twitter accounts that basically get subpoenaed. What they don't tell you, however, is how things have carried forward, how that stuff has been shot down and mercilessly because, hey, all of this absolute garbage. But of course, that doesn't make its way into a hit piece, does it? Now, a hit piece, of course, wouldn't be complete without accusations of tribalism and saying that this person themselves, they were attacked because of those monsters. And I didn't do anything at all. However, this devotion comes with almost tribal protectiveness. Moments after messaging one Waldman enthusiast, I was descended on by Depp heads in their hundreds. Warnings against talking to me were retweeted to oblivion. My personal details were posted online. Old articles I had written were scavenged from the depths of the internet. I locked my account as if pulling my arms over my head in a dusty scuffle. Do not mess with the Depp heads. We have it all. We know you. We will shut your nonsense down. One fan tweeted to rapturous applause. Within an hour, they had moved on to someone else. Because again, they're monsters. Now, of course, she says, I got off rather lucky compared to those poor nameless person supporters. D here, 27 from this place here, they run a Twitter account, Justice for that nameless person, and yeah, I was told monstrous things. Hey, welcome to the club. You should read my YouTube comments. That nameless person fans have compiled folders of screenshots showing the accosting messages they receive from Depp heads. Look at this messed up story, by the way. This is about a novelist inflating their reviews on Amazon. But but it's not spun that way. One nameless person supporter, a novelist, had a book she wrote 8 years ago sullied by one-star reviews on Amazon recently after engaging in spats with Depp aides, so she rallied nameless person supporters to leave 5-star reviews to compensate. That is messed up. That is absolutely messed up. Being on that nameless person's side is exhausting. Depp fans are like the sea. Some days there are waves I want to delete my account and hide in a cave far from internet trolls. Other days they're more calm. It depends on how much Waldman is tweeted that day or if there's news about it. And of course, if you look at this, nothing talks about how terrible those folks are. It's just, again, it's about that guy, how his fans are terrible, how 2,200 of those people had to be blocked by this person, and on and on. Again, this is the anatomy of a hit piece. But anyway, there is more to this, much, much more. You and I will probably laugh at it in a live stream. But yeah, when you look at this, I hope you ask, how many other hit pieces have I seen? And what were they saying about those people? And yeah, was I wrong if I thought that they were right? These people, they are desperate. They are always desperate. This is their way to take down people. They don't take them down with knowledge. No, they take them down by trying to make them cancelable. Always, because that's the culture that empowers them. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff, and as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. They'll never understand that either. Millions of people sounded off on that? Must be a bunch of cheerleaders. Couldn't be right. Couldn't be somebody that, does something that we can't. But anyway, let me know what you think. You see the links in the description. Check those out if you want to help out the channel. You being here, though, that matters, so thank you. I appreciate you, and I'm ending here because this video is longer than I wanted.